Hey YouTube, it is Easy Prepper 101, and today we're actually going to kind of take you step by step of how we water the garden every day using solar power, going to the transfer pump, to the rain barrels, to the actual watering, and then we're retracting the hose, doing it all that like I kind of told you guys from the very beginning of what we're going to do. As you can see, we have our box here. We'll lift this up, and as you see, we're pulling about 13.8 volts. And the one thing how we know we're charging is down here. You can kind of see the light is a little bit of a green. So the one thing that I've learned from this and doing some research, when this is kind of a full charge, it's going to give green, which means high voltage. Now when we use this and plug this back in, it will say charging, so that's kind of like the indicator that your battery is fully charged. Also too, when you kind of go to the box to make sure the light is still working. So what we're going to do is we're going to be safe when we're disconnecting the battery. So we're going to go the negative to positive by pulling it off so we don't fry any of the systems, and then when we add the inverter, we'll go positive to negative. So a tip from my father-in-law told me, when you're kind of doing with some solar and changing out batteries a lot, that's what you want to do. So disconnect, and as you can see, this is no longer on. So we have our inverter already kind of plugged, ready to go. So positive, negative, and then what we'll do is turn this on so you can see that the light is on. Now we're going to plug this in. This goes to our transfer pump. So pretty much once I get this set, that I'm able to walk over and run over to, as you can see, the line that we ran over to it. And now we're going to quickly run over to where everything else is. And if you see my dogs, they're making a cameo. So as you can see, we have our hose reel out ready to go, and then we have our box here covered. We did actually kind of got a little bit of rain last night, which was good, so it filled up our waters. So before I start unwrapping this, I come over to my rain barrel and also kind of check the rain gauge out to see how much water we got. Not much, not even maybe a quarter, not much, but it doesn't take much to fill these up. But what I always do to kind of purge this, get this ready to go, is when we come down here, open this up and start getting the water into the transfer pump. It's kind of like a little purge to get everything going. Just some bungee cords. Now usually when me and my wife do this, the whole thing takes us about 15 minutes. So we're not going to show you the whole process of it all, but you know, like the watering, but we'll kind of show you everything. That's ready to go. And then when we come over, we actually had an extra hose reel that we have the extension cord over there that goes towards the transfer pump. Now, as you can see here, this is our backup line that's plugged right into the house in case for some reason I haven't had to use it if I have to plug in straight to the house. But because the solar panels are charging and everything, this is off the grid. So pretty much getting this set up, and now we're gonna get the hose all pulled out, ready to go. That should be good. And with the fuel line ready to purge, it's already going. Plug this in. Now, remember, this is off the grid. This is going from the inverter, from the battery, running through the extension cable, and to that. So we come over here to the hose, and there's my dog. You can hear the kind of different high pitches of the inverter when water is coming and not. So now we're going to walk over to our plants and kind of just show you a little bit what we're doing. The one good note to tell you is so in case someone's going to ask, is it's going to take about 5 to 6 gallons of water to water this, our eggplant, the tomatoes, the peppers, the cucumbers, and the potatoes, and everything. And so pretty much just kind of show you how I water, and that is just kind of spray down below, as you can see, and then to where my hand is, there's a lot of eggplant. Just getting all the soil around there, and then I'll kind of switch over to this side, over to my left and just make sure, be careful, make sure there's a lot of good water in here. And if you actually, I'll lift this up, you see below, look how big that look how big that eggplant is starting to get versus some of my other ones that are here. That's growing. So I really think this eggplant's gonna, produce a lot. I've never, like I said, I'm a rookie when it comes to the farming. And when we come to the cucumbers, before we do that, look at the size of this guy. That's a good size. That's about ready to be picked. One here, whoops, as I knocked the camera, that's getting ready to be picked. When you come in from the back side here and look, you can just see there's a couple more cucumbers ready to go. The tomatoes are getting there. We'll move the pepper plant, but you can kind of see down there the tomatoes are starting to come. But what we're gonna just do is just show you real quick how we water. As you can see, we're getting really good pressure from the water, but like I said before, to water everything we have here, and we have a little plant outside the gate that we've been watering too, and we actually did the test with the bucket, and it's about 5 to 6 gallons of good watering of what we're doing, getting the soil nice and wet and soaked for everything. And if you look at the peppers here, they're just really starting to grow, and here. But we kind of learned our lesson for growing this year, that with the cucumber, it's starting to block it. And I think if that wasn't, we probably would have been getting more peppers, but that's okay. This is all learning. And also too, we panned right here, that's a cucumber getting ready to start. So we're definitely getting our cucumber. And another one there showing what we have. For the watering, same thing with potatoes. Just watering, we're just kind of getting this nice and wet, moving it around. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna kind of pause the video, finish watering, and then we'll kind of show you the step of how we're gonna wind this up. Right now, we just got them watering. We got our hose reel kind of brought over, and usually what I do is we're gonna retract it. Now the one thing we are going to be doing is this 100-foot hose is too much. I think a 50-foot hose is what we really need. So with us getting to the end of July and summer's kind of coming to a close, we're actually going to start looking for a 50-foot hose to replace this for next year. I'm just not going to do it now. But as you can see, this is rolling at a good pace. When you actually connect this to the house, it will actually go a little bit quicker. But sometimes you kind of get a little bit of a snag, but that's why I'm kind of holding it, feeding it in, and then also pulling it. But we're going to pause this right here because this is going to take about another minute or two, and we don't want to hear me yapping. All right, as you can see, we're getting pretty much close to the end, holding this in. That's what I'm saying. I think a 50-foot hose is going to be better for us. Sometimes I got to kind of feed it just because the hose is too long and the transfer pump is not that big. Once we get there, stop it, unplug, and then just kind of move this back over, and then immediately we'll come back over here. Got it locked down, it's pretty much good to go. And then as you can see, not much water, still a little leaking, but that's okay. We'll lock this up. Put the tarp back on, and we'll most of the time, like I said, me and my wife, we do this together, so we kind of tag team it. She'll get the hose getting taken out while I will get all this prepped, and she'll get the watering. The great thing about this, it's been a lot of good, we spent a lot of quality time together, but the excitement of coming home every day and looking at the plants. So now we're gonna run up to the house and get the solar kit. One more thing too we can show from right here walking, if you look at the solar panels, you might be able to see the blue lights, possibly. So you might be able to see those from this distance, but we're gonna walk into the house. You can see my dogs are coming in. So still on. Power that off. Unplug that. And we still do the reverse. Negative. And then we'll come back over here. And this is like their default, so you gotta toggle to get the 13.8. And the one thing I wanted to show you was, remember how this charger regulator was on green. Now if you look, I don't know if you can see, there you go, it's yellow and the green's right next door. So it just shows you that, you know, we're using this battery up, we're cycling it, and with the weather that we've had this year, we've been able to go about every other day to, you know, every day if we have to. But all in all, this has worked out exactly from how I've wanted it to, with all of the research and the help from other YouTubers and asking questions and the gardening stuff. Really appreciate all the helps. One more thing too, if you actually look, these are still holding on very well, the little screen. So that's a, like I said, very good purchase. But in the end, this has worked out very well. You know, and that's it. Super excited to finally kind of, in a way, close the end of this chapter of the gardening, of doing my off the grid with solar panels, the rainwater, and that. The one thing we did do with the test, like I kind of mentioned in the video, is we're using about 5 to 6 gallons of water. So next year, what we're probably going to do is we're going to probably build another 3x3, because that's what's in the peppers and the tomatoes. And then we're going to probably build a 3x6 or a 3x8 longer one for the potatoes. So, and we figured out with the calculations with me and my wife were doing with the water, we could probably need just one more 50-gallon rain barrel. So we'll probably pick one of those up next year. So we're already kind of thinking about next year. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead, because we still want to enjoy the, you know, 2019 and the summer, because we get to the fall and that it's going to get cold, we won't be able to be outside. But all in all, super happy. Hopefully you guys will have kind of enjoyed this journey of coming along with me, of building the rain barrels, you know, installing the rain barrels, building the solar kit, installing the solar kits, the boxes, the soil, the planting. And you know, I will be doing update videos on the harvest. So don't think I'm gonna just kind of end the video how it is, but you know, we're gonna be updating once we get our Redskins out. We're gonna just do another update for the Yukon Gold, kind of once we start picking the eggplants, and then also with the peppers and the tomato, kind of show you a haul of what we're getting. And you know, it might not be weekly, it might be like every other week, but once we kind of start picking, we'll probably add a second video in there, like a quick update for you guys. So all in all, thank you guys so much. Write those comments down below, hit that thumbs up if you like this video, and if you haven't, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much. We will catch you guys down the road.